Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hot Body Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Well, come along to it's the Monday morning episode, but you get it on a Sunday evening if you're an IFS subscriber on Patreon. And why wouldn't you be? I don't know what there is to talk about. I've been on my knees this afternoon doing some weeding, if you want to ask me about that.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was fruitful. I felt as though I was doing something.
Yeah.
I didn't feel jaded or
you were moving forward.
Connected.
You're moving forward, making progress, getting things done.
I felt connected to the earth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's quite feeling.
Yeah. It's made me hair fever flare up a bit, but yeah, I did. I felt as though I was at one with nature.
Yeah.
As I scraped up the weeds and the moss from in between the little paving stones I've got on my patio.
Good. And were you using a kneeling mat, knee pads, or perhaps both?
I knew that would be the first question you would ask.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. And it was very helpful.
What, kneeling mat?
A kneeling pad, basically.
Kneeling pad.
Just big enough.
You've got two, haven't you?
I've got two, but they're the same.
Oh, right.
Well
so how did you make a choice? Just the first one that was to hand?
Picked the first one up, yeah. I bought two. Perhaps I thought that I would have some kind of kneeling partner join me.
Yeah, well.
In the weeding.
Nice
maybe
idea.
one of my children, but no. So I've got hand tool as well that I'm using to scrape the moss and the weeds out from in between the paving stones, and it's fucking really rewarding. I'm planning to get up early tomorrow morning before we even start doing our podcasts that we do on a Monday to do a bit more.
Oh, yeah, it's a good feeling to getting something like that done, isn't it? Really good.
I could do an episode live from the weeding.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. Yeah. We join Andy now live from his back garden where he is weeding. Or maybe it was the front. I don't know. I don't know if you were out front doing it as well.
It was the back. We could do one of our YouTube videos.
Yeah. Live weeding.
Live weeding.
Yeah.
You don't get that with Jake Humphreys.
No. I've had similar experience, I guess, in some ways, in that today, for the first time in, must be well over 10 years, I changed a shitty nappy.
Whoa!
Changed the shitty nappy of my nephew.
Fucking hell.
Baby Ray.
Baby Ray.
Baby Ray, yeah. I volunteered to mind him for the day because my sister was taking her other child to see The Lion King.
Nice.
In the West End. So I said, I'll mind him. And I thought, how hard can it be? I've raised two kids.
Did you forget everything?
I forgot. The key thing I forgot was that they shat themselves.
Yeah.
And quite early. I mean, I've still got this cold as a result of the double COVID, so my sense of smell isn't what it was. But my son was like, he's definitely shat himself. And I was like, oh, fuck. I forgot about this bit. So I said, all right, come on. So I got the equipment together and I took him in a separate room because I didn't want people to have to witness it. Fucking hell, mate. Unbelievable amount of shit. I was quite pleased with my performance. It come back to me like riding a bike, like the sort of method. And, I used to be quite good and quick at it, like no messing about. Bang, 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 bang. Nappy off. Legs up. Wipe. Chuck it in the bag. Yeah, all of that. No, I didn't cream him, actually. Yeah, you've actually just reminded me of that. Shit, yeah, you're going to have a red ras now, isn't he, poor little bastard?
Enjoy your nappy rash, Baby Ray.
Yeah, so anyway, TTFM, Uncle Sam's going to go home now, watch your Euros. All the best.
See you in a few months.
Say to my sister or something, he's been good as gone. Oh, by the way, you might want to check his ass. It's probably got a big fucking rash on it because I didn't cream it. I forgot that was part of the basics of nappy changing.
God.
You have literally
well.
just remembered that.
You got 80% of it right, I think, the sense of it.
Yeah, got through it without any shit actually on my hands, which is always nice. And yeah, until you just reminded me of that oversight, I was feeling pretty good about myself. I was thinking, yep, still got it, still ready. Still.
You don't think of it as shit, though, do you, when it's your own kid? I know that the baby Ray's not your own kid.
He's my
but
nephew, so
flesh and
yeah.
blood. You don't think of it as shit if someone...
Well, yeah, the thing is,
do you?
he is half American. So,
Right.
obviously,
I
you know,
see.
the Yanks, they have a cocky attitude, don't they?
Yeah.
So, while I was changing his nappy, of course, he was lying on his back. And I need hardly tell you, he adopted the American style.
I was going to say, did baby
Yeah.
Ray use the American
Of course
style
he
of
did.
lying?
2 hands behind his back,
Brilliant.
behind his head, wasn't he?
It's just innate,
Just
isn't
like
it?
love it. You goddamn limeys make me sick. You're so
Yeah.
uptight. You want to take... Hey, Uncle Sam, you want to take that stick from out of your ass.
Quite ironic that you're called Uncle Sam and you're not the American in the...
Yeah, exactly.
In the,
Ha, what a joke. You, Uncle Sam, you wouldn't last 5 minutes in the land of the free.
You're a disgrace to the flag, to the stars and stripes.
That's what he seemed to be communicating to me with his eyes as I wiped the shit from his bum.
And forget the creamer. You forgot the cream!
Class, no wonder your country is in the shitter. You don't even know how to cream a baby's ass.
God, didn't expect that as being part of today's episode.
That was probably the most dramatic event of my day, to be honest.
I was reminded, I was talking about the Wayne Rooney documentary that's on iPlayer
Yeah, I watched it
a minute
yesterday.
about Rooney 2004.
Yeah,
That was when my daughter was about 6 months old, and I used to, when I was changing a nappy, we had a baby changing table,
yeah.
so you could, have all the equipment underneath.
You could
and
be
everything.
fully upright while you did it, yeah.
Brilliant things. I missed the baby changing table.
Yeah, I had to do it
Miss
on my
it.
knees today. I could have done with
Yeah.
your weeding pad.
You needed a kneeling
Yeah.
pad. And about the time that Rooney was dominating Euro 2004, whenever I was changing nappy, I would always go to a Rooney, which of course was the chant.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
whole nation, England,
Yeah.
was chanting at the time, and I'd tickle her and it'd make her laugh. And I
Aw,
told her about that the other day. I was
And
watching
what'd
the
she
Rooney
say?
documentary. So that was a nice memory. It goes so fast.
I did watch it, right, and I enjoyed it, and I had happy memories. And I'm, as we've both said many times, huge Rooney fan, not just as a man, but memories of him coming through like that. Probably the most exciting English player I've seen come through. And like I said the other day, I think he's the best ever English footballer. So all that, fine. But I did think to myself, it's quite funny that we think we're this big, very arrogant footballing nation, England, right? Like I've said before, we're the Tottenham of world football. We've got ideas way above our station. Like we see ourselves as something which no evidence supports. Do you know what I mean? And I was thinking, our documentary on the state broadcaster, right? If you're in France, Italy, Germany, Spain, right? It would be about the time your country won a trophy, right?
Yeah.
Our documentary is about a time where a young player played quite well in 3 games
Was
once.
really good for a couple of games and then got injured.
Yeah. And it's like, and also he played, when you look at it, no disrespect to Rooney, this was not Pele bursting onto the scene in like the 1958 World Cup, right? This wasn't that, right? This wasn't Maradona winning the 86 World Cup single-handedly, right? Or even Messi and Mbappe scoring hat-tricks in the last World Cup final. This is Rooney, right? He did a run and got brought down for a penalty against France in a game that we subsequently lost, right?
Well, we did see some other clips of him doing some running around.
Yeah.
Against
He scored-
France, but we lost the match
Yeah, he lost.
right at the end.
Then he scored 2 goals against, wait for it, drum roll please, Switzerland. And then he scored another 2 goals against, wait for it, drum roll please, Croatia. Right. And then we got to play, wait for it, Portugal. And he didn't score, he just got injured and we lost.
Got injured and we
So
lost. That was
that's a footballing fable that in this country of England is deemed worthy of an hour and a half long license fee funded
No, it wasn't an
documentary.
hour off. It was 30 minutes.
Whatever it fucking was too long. Because basically what it was, it's the same when they talk about Gazza in Italia 90. Gazza in Italia 90 boils down to this. Against Holland, he did a Cruyff turn,
Yeah.
right? And then in the semi-final, he cried.
He cried.
That is the beginning.
Stupidly got booked twice and cried.
And they've made about fucking 5 documentaries about that, about Italia 90.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just think that, well, I know I've got Italian relatives who think it's fucking hilarious, and they're right, that England are obsessed with the time that they once got to the semi-final of a World Cup in 1990,
Yeah.
right? Gazza did a Cruyff turn. People often forget Gazza didn't score in that World Cup, right? I think he might have got like 2 assists or something
Hardly
like
anyone
that.
scored in that World Cup.
People talk about it like, do you remember that? It was the most incredible individual display ever by any footballer from any country. No, he did one Cruyff turn, then he cried, and that was it.
Well, Italian 90 was weird. It was because England sort of dragged their way to the semi-final inexplicably. But the whole thing that was surrounded it all, the whole Gazamania and New Order doing World in Motion.
Yeah, there was an atmosphere. There was an atmosphere that was generated by the culture. I think there was a lot of it was to do it being in Italy, Nessun Dorma.
And we just had all-day drinking for a couple of years as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
people
it was the
really
first tournament where we had
embraced-
all-day drinking.
People embrace football in a way they hadn't before, but the actual football, I think we drew 1-1 against Ireland, which many people have said was the worst ever game in the history of the World Cup.
Possibly, yeah.
Then we drew 0-0 with Holland, and then we scraped 1-0 against, I think it was it Egypt or Tunisia? I can't remember which, but basically Mark Wright scored a header, right?
Against Egypt, I think, wasn't it?
Then we scraped by fucking Belgium. Then we scraped by fucking Cameroon. And then we
Belgium
lost to
match
Germany.
was the second worst match in the history of the World Cup.
So it's just funny the things that England fans and the England footballing nation elevate to the status of like magical romantic tales for the ages. It's very often like, do you remember when we played well for 20 minutes that time 20 years ago? That's like the classic British story.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well, you've got
I mean-
to take your joy where you can, I suppose.
I mean, England have got, who have they got on Tuesday night? It's Tuesday night, is it? They've got
Slovenia, is it?
Slovenia. And if they don't win, there's a chance they could finish second, and that would mean Germany on Saturday night.
Germans look good,
round
don't
of
they?
16.
There's so many teams in this tournament who look really good. Like even
Yeah.
Belgium, who I thought were over the hill. I watched them last night against Romania. They were fantastic, I thought. You
They
know,
just came out of the blocks at 100 mile an hour. It was brilliant.
Belgium, Portugal, Spain, France, Germany,
Italy, France, Germany.
Italy. This is different. These teams are on a different level.
You can look at teams like Austria possibly getting into the quarterfinals. Austria have looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Slovenia might nick something against England. And
Would you
off
go
the top,
so say
you can see it
every
happening.
single team in the tournament is better than England? I think possibly yes. But
Maybe.
you never know with England because there's lots of examples from the past where we suddenly turn around. And actually, sometimes once we come up against a slightly better team, we raise our performance somewhat. So who fucking knows?
Yeah,
Who fucking
it always
knows?
flips a bit, doesn't it? It usually
Yeah,
flips halfway through the tournament.
there still might be a few twists and turns and surprises, but it doesn't matter because the tournament's been really great to watch so far, hasn't it? So,
It has. I've
although
loved it.
England have
Today's
been
been-
disappointed, I've been enjoying it a lot.
I've been bewildered. I went down to the Sunderland fan park the other afternoon
To watch what?
watch. Oh, it was Ukraine against Serbia, maybe, or Slovakia.
You got any Ukrainians or Serbs in Sunderland?
There wasn't any down there that day. It was the afternoon. My daughter had gone to get an eye test.
Fuck me, there's
And
loads of Ukrainians in London. It's unbelievable.
Is it?
If they had a fan park for that game in London, it'd be fucking
Nah.
rammed.
It was just made some other fella, and he brought his own sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's nice.
It was pretty sparsely attended. And then he fucked off 20 minutes in.
Did he offer
just
you?
me
Did
sat
he
there.
offer you a one or a bite at
Did he
least?
fuck? Nah, I didn't sit anywhere near him. That would have been weird. Sat right next to him in an attempt
mate.
to get his sandwiches.
You spare one of them sandwiches.
sandwiches there, mate.
Nah. Nah, fuck off.
They look nice.
I'd give you one, but I've only got 8.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what else is going on? I don't know what to talk about. I've got nothing.
Jay Slater. Jay Slater is obviously. I don't want to make light of the Jay Slater situation because it's very sad if he has perished, right? Which he might have done. I know you've got your theories on it. I've read someone saying that there's another theory that he's been kidnapped by. He owed money. I think he had a big bag of ecstasy, and someone suggested that he was supposed to sell it on behalf of some gangsters, but he accidentally ate half of the ecstasy tablets himself.
Accidentally?
Yeah, he ate them, and then he was like, oh no, I've eaten all this ecstasy. How am I going to explain this to the gangsters? And then he lost the other half, because obviously he was so high at that stage on the rave drug ecstasy that he just lost the other bag. And, Anyway, who knows what the truth is, but I have been enjoying watching the official Facebook group where various people have been offering advice and suggestions on how to help find him. You can
describe them as armchair detectives, I think, can't you?
Well, some people are just like saying that they're making practical suggestions, such as, have you thought about leaving bits of food by the side of the road for him?
Yeah. Someone said, have you thought about going to where he was last seen and shout really loudly?
Shout loudly. Someone said, what about if you just played his favourite songs on speakers?
What, like when you try and get someone out of a coma?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they thought it might cheer him up. And someone else said, I've got a dog that's got a great sense of smell. Do you think it would be worth me trying to get the dog over there?
Yeah.
Did you see that? I thought these things were quite nice.
Provide something that belongs to him so you get the scent.
Yes.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
My favourite was there's a strong possibility that he might have got stuck on a cactus and is unable to get free.
Yeah, which would be a horrible thing. I mean, imagine if you got stuck on a cactus. I don't know if it's ever happened to you.
I don't think it's. I've never happened to me. No.
No, it's not happened to me.
By a cactus before.
I've come close though. I've been near cactuses and I've been like, "Oh, watch out! Don't want to get caught on that." Because if you get caught on it remotely and you can't somehow wriggle free, you could. Andy, this is extreme, and I don't want to be an alarmist, but you could just eventually starve to death if you were attached to a cactus.
You can't eat the cactus because
it's too prickly.
Yeah.
It's a
vicious circle.
Mark Williams Thomas has been a person of interest to this podcast in the past, hasn't he? Remind me of what his backstory, what Mark Williams Thomas's origin story is, because I think we took a close look at him when he made that documentary on behalf of Michelle Mone and her husband. Right?
Yeah.
Do you remember? They made a film.
He'd done that.
They said, in order to prove our innocence and give our side of the story, we're making a film. And they commissioned Mark Williams Thomas to make it. And it was basically a story about how they weren't dodgy at all. They were actually really nice. And I thought, and they said, we've got a professional journalist to do this. And I thought, who is this professional journalist who undertook this project? And that was when I first came across the name Mark Williams Thomas. And you already knew of him because hadn't he done a TV show?
He did the show that exposed Jimmy Savile as a paedophile.
Right, okay.
Back in 2012. Which set the old Operation U-Tree thing underway.
Oh, okay. So he's got chops, so to speak.
He used to be a copper.
Yeah, he used to be a copper, but now he's a self-proclaimed journalist. Is that right?
He he left the police because I think he found it more lucrative to do documentaries and that about stuff. Okay. But maybe it hasn't been as lucrative because that's why he did the Michelle Mone one.
He's posted this today. It's a picture of poor old Jay Slater, and Mark Williams Thomas has written, I have this morning reached out to missing Jay Slater's mum, offering the help of my team. He's got a team to get her answers as to what has happened to Jay. Lots of speculation about what could have happened, and if they give me total access and with feet on the ground, I will very quickly, that's pretty bold statement, I will very quickly be able to say if his disappearance is him alone or if it has third-party involvement.
Well, that's good. That's
Wow.
very good. I guess you never, ever lose that detective
He's a hound dog.
skill because he hasn't been a police officer since 2000. It's quarter of a century almost
It's in your
since
blood,
he left
though.
the police. In between 2001 and 2002, he was the marketing manager and the director of Gum Fighters, a national chewing gum removal specialist.
Oh, well.
So he's got a wide range of talents and skills.
Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the average cabinet minister bio that you read on Wikipedia of anyone who served in the government of the last 14 years. Do you know, it always turns out to be that, though, doesn't it? You go, oh, who's this new guy who's the Home Secretary? And then you Google him, and he literally has a list of businesses like that, which are now defunct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not laughing at that, because that's the kind of backstory that could easily get you into a high seat of office within government.
Gunfighters. He was hired by various councils to clean the streets with his gunfighting machine.
He had a machine.
I guess he had a machine.
I think he had a
There's
machine.
always a machine. 2003, Mark Williams Thomas was charged with blackmailing a funeral home director after alleging there were multiple bodies buried in unmarked graves. Fuck me. An article ran in a National Sunday newspaper describing the mass burials. He was subsequently acquitted. So, yeah.
He
Advised the police, advised the TV companies on various crime dramas.
He's got
He's,
the world is beset with men. It's always men with like just this huge, like I think that pomposity is undervalued because I think they used to say the geek shall inherit the earth, but I think it's the pompous cunts inherit the earth because if you look at it, the sort of blokes like Mark Williams Thomas, Jake Humphreys, even people like Boris Johnson or Rishi Sunak. These are the sort of men who they just fucking balls out, come up in front of people and start making outrageous claims about what they're capable
really
of.
Thick-skinned.
And people just fucking buy it. So he's there giving it, I will extremely quickly establish what has gone on here, right? Even though no one else, he just says it. And he's got like mixed response underneath, but a lot of people going, yeah, this is great. You should get out there and do it. And it's just like, you know, like the way you see clips of Jake Humphreys and he's talking about his high performance morning, but very often he'll just be saying words to the effect of, an alarm goes off and that tells me it's time to wake up. Now,
It's time to start performing highly.
The first thing that I do when I need to wake up is I first open my eyelids, therefore exposing my eyeballs to the environment around me. And then what I start doing is scanning and assessing my environment.
I call this waking up.
Yeah, I call this waking up. There's been loads of studies on it. You can look them up. We had a couple of guests on the podcast who are real experts in it. But it's basically called waking up. There's a big piece of research done at Berkeley in the US. And it basically, you know, in layman's terms, it's about stopping being asleep and then being awake.
An incredible discrepancy between the number of high performers who have chosen to wake up before performing highly against those that have remained asleep.
Yeah.
Almost all of the ones that have remained asleep have performed lowly.
Yeah, and then he goes like, yeah, then what I do is, and this is something that's really fascinating that I've got really into recently. We've had a few fantastic guests on the podcast about is that I've started assembling a collection of nutritious items on a plate, which is like a porcelain disc.
Just an ordinary plate. Most
just a plate. You can get them in most high street shops, and I assemble nutritious substances on it, and then I get something that is a hydrating liquid. And I put it in a receptacle, be that a cup, be that a glass, whatever I have to hand. You can really use anything. Could be a mug. Could be anything. And then I consume this by putting the nutritious substances and the hydration liquid inside of my body, usually via the mouth, sometimes via the anus or nostrils, but usually by the
Very
mouth.
rarely by the anus.
And what I call it personally, this is just my term for it, is breakfast. Breakfast. And that actually is, I came up with that word myself. It means break fast. Because overnight, when I'm sleeping and I shut my body down, that is like fasting. But
like
then in the morning,
like
I break the fast.
It's like a personal prison. And you
Yeah.
break out of it.
Yeah, I've done
Quickly.
escape, like Escape to Victory, like Steve McQueen when he jumps over the wall on a motorbike. That's what I do every morning by simply eating and
you
drinking.
have to do it every morning if you want to succeed.
It's about consistency. But tiny habits, you build them up over time, and you start. Trust me, you start to see major results. Major results. How do you think I used to present Formula One Grand Prix? Well, here's a little insight to how I reached those heady heights in my life. What I mean is these cunts.
Number one,
Yeah.
I'd wake up.
Wake up. 2, scan
Break
and
fast.
assess. 3, break fast. I then go and I evacuate my bowels in a special room, a specialised room I've had constructed within my home, in which I had a bowl which I can sit on.
Not a breakfast bowl. It's
Not
a very
that.
different kind of bowl.
It's a special kind of bowl that I designed myself and gave to some state-of-the-art builders to construct. It's a bowl that you sit on, but at the bottom of the bowl, there's a tube that goes into some pipes that run underneath my house. And those pipes run, well, I'm not quite sure where. I assume to the river or the sea. I don't know. I don't care. But I literally evacuate my bowls into this bowl, my bowels into the bowl, bowels into bowl, and they go down into the pipes, and then they are somehow they disappear. And I call that a toilet. Again, a word I invented. We're looking to roll this out to other countries around the world. Other high performers are interested in this because a lot of people just tend to shit in their pants. And that's fine if you're someone who is not ambitious about performing highly.
We're talking to Theo Paphitis about getting involved in that. I was hoping to get that Diary of a CEO guy involved, but he's
good.
He's not responding to me messages for some reason.
Gordon Ramsay is interested in buying a stake and being a
Ramsay's
silent
very
partner.
interested.
Very interested. He said he sent me an email about. I'll read it out to you to prove it's real.
It's,
he said
it's all in capital letters as well. I should say that.
He's written in capital letters. I fucking love it, big boy. Right, that's what he calls me, big boy. So yeah, he's going to chuck in. I won't embarrass him by saying how much, but a decent chunk of change to Project Toilet Limited, which was all my idea.
When I say change, it's not the kind that you find down the back of the settee. Put it that way.
Definitely not. Oh no, we're talking big bucks. But he believes in me and he believes in the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you can't have people
Thomas.
shitting their pants in kitchens when they're preparing food. You just can't have it. Not if you're chasing Michelin stars.
But yeah, Mark Williams Thomas. It's the same kind of. It's that absolute thick-skinned fucking. Just
Cast iron
incredible
belief
self-belief
in your own excellence, in spite of the fact that you just appear to be normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, just a cast iron. You've assessed yourself as a human, and you thought, "Fucking hell, I'm remarkable. I'm
incredible.
I'm an incredible. I'm way above everyone else. That's really interesting. I'm going to start analysing why it is that I'm better than other humans, right? Because I think anyone who knows me knows that I am. But why? That's what's
No
fascinating.
one said it to me, but I can tell
Yeah.
when they're around me. There's like an aura, where there's a kind of a deference to me.
When I am in a room with other humans, I talk to them, I smile, I make them believe that I like them because that's part of my skill. But the whole time, I'm thinking to myself, you are disgusting. You're the shit on my shoe. I hate you. Look at the way you're living your life. None of you have ever presented Formula One, right? And probably none of you have ever even been trackside at a Formula One race. Most of you are shorter than me. And I just think you're horrible, sickening, low-performance people.
You probably don't even watch the bit when they go trackside before the Formula
You
One.
can't be bothered
Where
because you're
Where
lazy.
they look at all the cars and the celebrities. You probably just turn on for the race. It's not about the race. It's not about the race. It's about the journey.
I wonder what I look at some people, and some of them these days don't even own watches. Probably because they're so low performance, time has no meaning to them.
There's no
'cause
point.
They're just lazy. And some of them do have watches, but their watches are small and modest. They're not gigantic and silver at all.
Some of them have got the watches that have got fucking that dog, that cartoon dog. Was it Snoopy?
Snoopy.
They've got that on their watch.
And I
What's
just
that
think,
about?
what I think to myself is, wouldn't the world be a better place if all of these low performance people were dead, if they all just died? And then the world, there'd be more space and money and time left for high performance people like myself and a few of my close friends like Theo Paphitis and Gordon Ramsay and John Diary of a CEO.
Less him, because he's not engaging with me at the minute.
He's being a bit of a dick. But
was
fair
a
enough,
holiday.
he's got a lot on his hands because of his involvement with Huel, which, by the way, I think is a fucking fantastic product. Just shout out to the guys at Huel. And I haven't been paid for saying that. I just believe in it, yeah? I just believe in Huel. And,
Yeah, it's got a strange taste, but then you've got to suffer.
It's made of fucking chickpeas, isn't it? What do you want? It's not going to taste like a fucking cornetto, is it?
You've got to suffer in order to thrive, I think.
Suffer to thrive is another phrase that I've invented and trademarked. It's called STT, and I'm actually doing a course on it soon. So
we
just
need to start a separate podcast called Suffer to Thrive.
let's thrive. Yeah, and we should both wear black polo necks, and the photo should be taken on a black background, and we should be wearing those little Bluetooth headsets. But you know the new ones that are really tiny and flesh covered.
Yeah.
Do you know those? Have you seen those ones?
Yeah.
Those are the real like fucking high class ones. We should get a pair of them.
I think you've got to get a Samsung Galaxy to get one of them free. You've got to get on a contract.
I'm just going to make a pretend one. I'm going to get a toothpick and I'm going to put an olive on the end of it or a peanut. I'm going to sellotape a peanut to the end of a
dry
toothpick.
roasted peanut.
And then I'm going to sellotape that to my cheek.
And hit the lecture circuit.
Yeah. Just walk around with that attached to my face.
Oh, man, why are we not
Suffer
on
to
the Edinburgh
thrive.
Festival this August? Fucking hell.
know.
Suffer to
Fucking
thrive. Easy how that would be.
STT. Please don't use the phrase ever.
Yeah, I'm copyrighted it right now.
We will take legal action. In fact, even if
Yeah.
you're booking tickets to see our show, when you call Ticketmaster, if you say to them, I want to buy
ring
tickets for Suffer to Thrive, right? We will, even though you're buying tickets to our show, we will sue you for saying the phrase.
Yeah.
Say, I
Yeah,
want,
we-
you can say STT, that's as much as we're willing to let you
Ticketmaster
have.
will add on £3.99 on the ticket price when you
Because
say
you-
Suffer to Thrive.
Because you've breached copyright.
Yeah.
Our cast iron copyright stipulations. Yeah, so that's it.
So, yeah. There we go. I think that's about it, really, because Scotland's on in 20 minutes. I want to watch that.
Oh, if we do an election section later in the
Yeah.
week, I have now completed the Keir Starmer Odyssey. I read his entire biography because I wanted to be prepared and ready for him being the new Prime
What we're
Minister.
getting. Yeah. Oh,
And I
we'll
would
do
leave you
that
with
then.
this one thought. I am the only man, the only human in Britain, possibly the world right now, who is genuinely, and this is said with no humour or irony at all, absolutely fucking love and am beside myself with excitement about Keir Starmer being Prime Minister. I really mean that. I really mean that. I've read everything there is to read about his life. I've done a lot of digging. And this guy is here to fucking save us. Keir Starmer is my Jesus Christ.
Brilliant. We'll have to do a special then, won't we?
Yeah.
Election section coming up this week.
That'll wipe some subscribers off. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Eventually we will whittle down to the one true listener.
Yeah.
That's our intended aim and has been since day one. All right. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back throughout the week with lots of stuff and an election section on why Keir Starmer is the new Jesus. Thank you very much for listening. And that's that.
That's that.